Redeemer was unable to defend it.
Young sends that over. Set it to the left side. Bowers tries to get under it, but she's kind of falling to her right as she tries to get that pass, and she can't make it. Serve St. Clair. Good first pass. Young set out to the right side for Surrett, and she forces an error out of the St. Clair defense. That pass is into the rafters. Serve goes back to Redeemer, and it's the person who just won this point a moment ago, Avery Surrett, with the serve. And a good hit out of middle from St. Clair. Ada Cook gets her arms on that, but the pass is wide left and out of bounds. No chance for the Royals to set up an attack.
St. Clair showing quickly that they have very powerful middles, and I imagine they are going to keep using them.
I believe so. St. Clair again with service. Good first pass by Hybert. Set out to the right side for DeYoung. She's been a consistent hitter out of that right side for Redeemer all season. It's played deep. Surrett gets that one popped up. Now to Hybert on the left side, and she hits that one. Takes a little bit of momentum off of it as it goes through the block, but finds a spot in the St. Clair defense. Claire Heidi in the middles for the Royals with a good serve. Comes up to the left side now for St. Clair, hitting on a tight angle. Able to use that block as a tool and score a point for St. Clair.
Yeah, tough look there. Obviously, the left side was way back off the net. And to still have the ball hit off the Redeemer Royals blocking out is just unfortunate. But good job by the left side on St. Clair's team. And a great read, obviously, as you see that float ball, it's going hard, it's going high, you immediately leave it and just assume it's going out.
Kate DeYoung, one of the graduating athletes being honored tonight, a fourth-year student with the serve. Gets it in, got a set up to the right side. Good block up by the Royals. Saints will have a second chance at this. They do get another hit. Good first pass by Surrett, and Hybert tips it over. And St. Clair makes a mistake, giving Royals the point and leveling this first set at 4-4.
Redeemer showing the defense that we talked about, what they really needed in order to stay in this game, as Sinclair is showing their offense, but Redeemer's just counteracting perfectly with blocks and digs.
Set out a middle again, and Seth, you're very right. They're using those middles a lot here early in this first set.
Yeah, it seems like our middle blockers are going one-on-one with them right now. I think in the future, we're going to need somebody else to sneak in on one side to hopefully catch the middle off guard, whether that's the setter or our left side.
This is Lily Surgener serving, and she gets an ace off of Redeemer there. She's in there alongside Kiana Huggins, Hannah Gill, and a few others in the front row. And Joelle Lammers hits that one out of the middle. It just catches the back corner. Lammers, another one of the graduating athletes tonight, or one of the graduating athletes being honored tonight, playing her last regular season home game at least. And that one just tipped over, an arm flailing at it. Just doesn't make a good pass for the Royals.
Yeah, it's tough. Not much you can do there if you're Avery Surrett. You just kind of had the ball tipped off the top of your hands, and you were the only one that would have been able to get the ball right after that, and then you turning around. Just difficult.
Yeah. Bowers with the first pass. DeYoung set up to the left side. Surrett goes up. St. Clair is almost able to save it off a ricochet, but Redeemer gets the kill.
St. Clair has not been digging very many balls recently or in this set at all yet. They have to really step up their defense here, or else Redeemer is also a very good attacking team. So otherwise we're going to... Oh.
That one's played high enough to have touched the roof, but it got in between one of the gaps. That one, not so much, from Joelle Lammers. Trying to dig that one on the left side. Hits the roof. Giving St. Clair the ball back.
It was a great shot by the St. Clair left side there. Hitting it perfectly towards the attack line, rolling in. Extreme cross court. Very rarely in women's volleyball is that position defended because they always try to cover the tip behind the block.
This is Harley Smith for the Saints. Surrett out of the left side gets blocked. Royals will set up another attack. This time it's to the right. Kate DeYoung will roll that one over. Set to the back row for St. Clair, and a great hit. Kate DeYoung tries to make a pass on it, but it's just too much. Harley Smith with the serve again. Out to the left side for Surrett. This one she gets around the block, but it's just... Oh, it's a tip. I was going to say that one landed out of bounds. I could see that from here, but a tip off the block will score Redeemer that point. Good kill by Avery Surrett.
Yeah, you got to appreciate St. Clair calling that themselves in the sport. It's so hard to see for the officials in so many situations, so it does require a team to call it.
That's amazing. Another hit out of middle. The block got a piece of it and redirected it. Royals not able to pass that. This is Emma Clements with the serve, the setter for the Saints today. Claire Heidi hit out of middle, but she's blocked. And Kate DeYoung is able to tip that over the block out of the left side and find a nice pocket in the St. Clair defense to win the Royals a point.
Yeah, I mentioned much women's volleyball doesn't cover that cross-attack line. St. Clair was there, which is why Kate DeYoung was able to get that tip directly over the block so effective.
Surrett sends that one a bit long on her serve. Saints go back up 3 points. This is Kiana Huggins serving. It's DeYoung now to Heidi. Tips that one over. Finds a little spot on the right side. Good vision and awareness from Claire Heidi with the tip.
Yeah, we were talking about having two blockers potentially on St. Clair's middle. St. Clair was doing that, but it does leave that one spot where that block comes from wide open for tips, and that was just well read by Redeemer's middle.
Heidi with the serve. Out to the right side. Good pass. Clement set out to the right side. Tip off the block. And it's just redirected in front of Claire Heidi. Can't get hands on it. It'll be a point for St. Clair. This is Faith Kyler, number 10 for St. Clair, serving. DeYoung has to go to her knees to set that up, and Heidberg gives the free ball over. Out to the left side now for St. Clair. Good block by the Royals, blocking that tip, and St. Clair can't field a pass. Be a Redeemer point.
Yeah, all in the set there for St. Clair, just way too tight for the net. Not high enough for their left side to then get there and try to do something with it, so they were underhand tipping it into the block, and not much you can do in that situation.
Kate DeYoung now serving for the Royals. Huggins, Clements out to the right side. And a one-legged attack out to the right side. Hits the antenna and will be a point for the Royals.
Interesting call there. I wasn't sure if that actually went off the block into the antenna or off of the actual hit on the way by. So nobody complained, so it must be right.
DeYoung again with a good serve. That's Huggins with the first pass. Clements to the middle. I believe that's Harley Smith out of middle, I believe.
Yeah, and that was Redeemer did have their left side come in and try to block and double block that middle there, but the middle was able to see who was coming in and then just hit it the other way.
Bowers. Second ball, DeYoung. Hybert lines up for that. Hits it right off the block and out of bounds. Good kill for Alana Hybert. Winning that point a moment ago. Now has the chance to serve. Alana Hybert. Ball's up. It's over. Huggins with the first ball. Clements trying to do the signature Ben Brower tip over. Redeemer's able to pass it up, and Surrett hits that one off the block, but it didn't need it anyways. Landed in bounds. Good kill for Avery Surrett out of left side. Tie game at 13.
Yeah, it was a good attempt by the St. Clair setter, but she just had her left hand up by itself for so long that it was very, very easy to read.
Another attack out of middle. More of a placement attack out of middle. We'll give the Royals the ball, or the point. That one was called out of bounds from Harley Smith, attacking out of middle. Just tried to place it on the sideline and couldn't do so. This one's a bit close to the net. Royals will get up, and they may be called for a lift here. I believe so.
Yeah, the ball just got too low there.
Yeah.
Very much by her chest in that situation, and then trying to push that back up. Almost certainly will always get a call for a lift.
Bowers just gets the last piece of that, but it's not on her side of the court. It's over and out of bounds. This is Brianne Hobbin, member of the OCAA West second team, all-star team last year for the Saints. Surratt had to come very inside to hit that. She tips this one, leaves it a little short, but it just gets over. St. Clair has to scramble to get this one up. They do. Quick attack at the middle for Joelle Lammers. St. Clair keeps it up, but the roof taketh away, as that one was just hit a little bit too high into the rafters, bounced around, and the Royals will get that point in the ball back, 15-15.
As a guy who played middle in high school on some occasions, I gotta love a free ball over to the middle, right to the center, and right back to you for the kill. Gotta love it.
Lammers just left that one a little bit short. Can't make too many of those mistakes against the number 1 seed in the OCAA West, though. They're gonna punish you, especially seeing the set scores of Redeemer's game last time they faced St. Clair. They got very close in the first set, only losing by 2, but then the next 2 were more difficult. But Claire Heidi with a great hit out of middle there. Ball pops back up over to the Royals side of the court, and she's quick to react. Hits it into the block and down in between the net. St. Clair not able to get a pass. Good point by Claire Heidi. It's Alana DeYoung now serving. Clements set out to the left side for Huggins. Surratt, this one's a little bit tight to net, but she's able to tip it over. Clements out to Huggins again on the left side. Big block. Kate DeYoung all over that. And St. Clair will call a timeout as the Royals go up 1 point. Maybe 2/3 of the way through this first set. Showing some need for the Saints to start worrying about the Royals mounting a bit of a charge.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's interesting not seeing St. Clair really have an answer for most of Redeemer's offense. And most of Redeemer's offense has been a few combinations of tips and some strong hits right through the block. Not like Redeemer's offensively dominating this game in any capacity. They are just using the tools that they have. They're tipping very well. They're using the block very well. And they're getting a lot of points off it, which is a lot comes down to, like, especially off the block, we're seeing it's a big timing thing for St. Clair. They just kind of have to figure out the timing of their blocks more and, like, figure out where Redeemer's putting the ball on these tips, because we've gotten, like, 3 or 4 points just off tips that have gone to where nobody is. So
yeah, it's interesting because St. Clair has shown a bit more of that kind of offensive force so far in terms of their hitting, and Redeemer hasn't. So the fact that they are kind of equal, you don't know whether Redeemer has the ability to get up to St. Clair's level today and maybe hopefully push past this level, but Redeemer in the game not showing necessarily a ton of hitting prowess so far. So if there's room to improve that in this game, I think they can make a great run for the rest of it.
Yep.
And we get an error out of the St. Clair hitting straight out of the timeout, putting the Royals back up 2. There was a hit out of middle that went a good deal wide and out of bounds. Alana DeYoung gives that float serve very deep. Made it difficult for the libero to decide whether or not to pass it, but she did. And St. Clair's a hit out of middle now. Hybert almost getting to that, able to pancake it, but not quite. Royals still up 1.
it's actually a nice attack from the setter there, Jared. That killed the point there. It wasn't even a middle attack. The setter just turned and hit, which was really impressive to watch. Yeah.
All right. My apologies. Another float serve deep from Clements. It's hit by DeYoung. Clements is there to save it. Huggins tries to send it long, catch the Redeemer defense out, but she sends it out of bounds and gives the Royals their 2-point lead back.
Yeah, I love the situation where the setter's coming in the back row and just tipping it straight to where the setter plays defense, forcing them out of the play entirely, which is great tipping knowledge by Redeemer.
Avery Surratt set it to the right side for St. Clair, able to use the block as a tool, score a point on that kill. It's Kiana Huggins, the 5th-year outside hitter out of London, Ontario. She's the one serving here. Was the one with the kill a moment ago. Kate Young now on the right side for the Royals. She gets blocked. And this one will be somewhat attacked by Avery Surratt in the back row. Now it's to the left side. St. Clair will roll that one over. Set to the right side now for the Royals. Good hit by Katie Young, and that one's got a lot of power on it. Huggins not able to take enough off of it, and it's into the ceiling and a point for the Royals as they reach the 20-point mark in this first set before St. Clair.
St. Clair is really getting bitten by the roof far more than Redeemer is right now.
That's very true.
Big home court advantage for Redeemer clearly being shown.
Absolutely. Heidi gets that one in. Clements with the set out to the right side. I believe that's Surgener hitting her to the right side. Good attack down the line, and that's a kill for the Saints.
Yeah, just a solid attack overall. One straight over the block, two straight in the line. Textbook dominant offense there.
This is Taya Veneri, substitute into the game. Outside hitter, serving. Bowers with the first ball. Lana DeYoung, quick set to middle for Joelle Lammers. She has to tip that. Looks like St. Clair's not able to get a good pass on it. Point for the Royals.
That's a tough situation in St. Clair's book. Both the blockers tried to then hit the ball after they blocked it, even though they had a defender right behind them ready to play that ball. So it's kind of just an unfortunate situation, but it's tough to tell because that wasn't necessarily going way over their block either, so tough to know your defense is there.
And an ace from Katie Young. And we'll have another timeout called by St. Clair as the Royals get up 3 late in this first set. St. Clair definitely not out of it, only back 3 with the quality that they have. But Redeemer able to put a little bit of a scare into the Saints in this first set, which maybe is what they did the first set last time as well. Came out strong against a formidable opponent, and they've gotten St. Clair to call a few timeouts this set, which is pretty big for the Royals, I think.
Yeah, I'm not seeing St. Clair. Not only are they just making a lot of defensive mistakes, they're also not passing the ball very well initially off. Like there's now been 2 aces in the past 2-3 points by Redeemer, which is unheard of. Their libero was caught one time running back, trying to make a pass. It was just not really the best defensive and passing performance I've seen St. Clair. Granted, Redeemer is not by any means passing superstars and hasn't really been passing superstars, but they're making the most of what they're getting, and they're doing it very effectively.
Yeah, so St. Clair definitely with some room to improve more on the defensive side. The Royals with more room to improve on the offensive side, but they're getting enough points so far this first set. 3-set lead coming out of this timeout. We'll see if Kate DeYoung can continue her serving and extend this lead into a win in the first set for Redeemer. Kate DeYoung gets this in. Deep middle. Clements set out to the middle, and Kate DeYoung gets the first ball. It's in a decent spot. Surratt attacks out of the back row into the pot. And Joelle Lammers gets it over in between the block and the net. She's able to force that one down, and the Royals are up 4, just 2 away from taking this first set.
You wonder how long that tip's going to keep working for.
Yeah. It's working so far so well. A free ball given to the Royals. Ada Cook sets this one out to the left side for Hybert, and Ada Cook puts a hand on that, although Surratt was behind her, maybe in a better passing position. Royals give up a point there, but they're still 3 up at the end of this first set.
St. Clair is intentionally bringing in a server and defensive person, which, Jared, you have their names in front of you.
Yeah, Emma Cabral and Samantha Clements into the game. As that one's hit just wide. Putting the Saints back within 2. This will be the new substitution, Emma Cabral, to serve. Third-year setter for the Saints. Surratt set to middle. Lammers hits that off the top of the block, and it's kind of hit up. Second ball from libero, not exactly an ideal attacking set. DeYoung out to the left side. Hybert tips it. St. Clair covers that one a bit better. It's Gill. Hit out to the right side. DeYoung gets under that. Bowers with the second ball, keeps it off the roof. Kate DeYoung will have to set that one over and an attack out of middle. Bowers sprawls towards it to get a touch on it, but she can't field a pass. And St. Clair going on a little 3-0 run there. Not immediately out of the timeout. I think the Royals got 1 point first out of the timeout that St. Clair called. But then, 3 straight points given up by the Royals late in the set here with a pretty sizable lead. So,
yeah, St. Clair making the noticeable substitution there, subbing in another setter and another offensive hand so that you can have your setter in the back row. And so that they can have 3 attackers in the front row, because obviously they don't have the most confidence in their back row attacks, which is fair given how many points you were back. So you may as well bring in some strong front row to hopefully get some easier points than you would out of the back row.
Mm-hmm. But St. Clair with the momentum right now. Redeemer calling the timeout. Of course, St. Clair with service. See if they can level this one at 23. We'll see if we get into ourselves a win-by-2 situation. But a great nail-biter here in the first set.
Yeah, we just try to get a pass here. That's what we try. Get a dime. Redeemer tries to get a good solid pass. Start off a good rally. Don't even need to have a necessarily strong kill, but let's start with a strong pass. Make St. Clair use their defense.
Bowers. DeYoung out to the left side for Hybert. She gets over the block. Is able to get that hit in bounds. Great kill from Alana Hybert out of left side.
There's that strong pass I mentioned. It was just perfect opening up Redeemer to have a solid attack to get this point right back and get us 1 point away from
fans
match.
On their feet. Redeemer Royals with service and set point. Alana Hybert. Gill with the first ball. Cabral with the second. Out of middle. That one stays off the roof. DeYoung tries a little sneaky tip. Doesn't work out. And St. Clair on the net. Out of that attack of middle. Redeemer takes this first set 25-22. So the Royals taking that one in emphatic fashion. DeYoung almost succeeding on the tip, catching the St. Clair defense sleeping, but they attack back out of middle, which has been one of their stronger points in this first set. And net violation, which is, I believe, the first of the game for St. Clair, handing Redeemer that first set. They'll take it. 1-0 lead after not being able to get a set off St. Clair the last time these two teams played, and St. Clair only having dropped 8 sets all season, and now 9, one coming at the hands of Redeemer, so they can feel pretty good about taking a set off the top team in the league. But as we have a break in between sets, I'd like to remind you that tonight's Redeemer Royals volleyball game is proudly brought to you by Finn Pools, a proud sponsor of your Royals, as well as the Make a Splash move of the game. For over 25 years, Finn Pools has been transforming backyards with custom designs, expert installations, and trusted maintenance, delivering top-quality products they stand behind. From concept to completion, they believe kindness matters and every project deserves excellence. So if you are interested, visit finnpools.ca, that's FINNPOOLS.ca, to learn more or to start your next pool project today. Thank you, as always, to Finn Pools for supporting the Redeemer Royals. Emma Clements starting off this second set with service, and she'll get an ace off of the Royals defense. Hybert trying to get that one, but passes it over the net and wide. But it was a good spot picked by the St. Clair setter. This one's a little bit deeper, should be a little bit easier of a pass, but not exactly to 2.5 for the setter. But Surratt gets a great hit out of the left side, hitting it straight into the middle of the block and kind of in between the two blockers and down. Great spot picked by Avery Surratt, and a good second ball by Alana DeYoung to make something out of that not ideal first pass out of serve receive. It'll be Alana DeYoung here serving. And St. Clair will see that one going wide and leave it. They'll win that point. Kiana Huggins now serving for St. Clair. Only fifth-year player on the roster for the Saints. Surratt tipping that one over, and St. Clair getting the touch on the block, but they tip it out of bounds. Royals will get that point back, and it's 2-2 early on here in the second set after Redeemer took the first. St. Clair currently sitting at first in the OCAA West at 12-1. Redeemer sitting at fourth at 10-4, I believe. So two teams that have some work to do in the playoffs and some expectations in front of them about what they can accomplish. Standstill serve, passed by Hybert. DeYoung's able to keep it on Redeemer's side to launch an attack. This will be a free ball from St. Clair. Surratt's for the first. Good set out to the right side for Kate DeYoung. That one is almost into the roof off the first pass from Clements. DeYoung gets the first one there. It'll be Bowers with the second ball. DeYoung tips that one over, and there were players around in that area, but just kind of a little bit of a hesitation on the cover. And that one's passed into the ground from St. Clair. Gives Redeemer the points, and it's 3-3 again. Trading points early in the second set. Claire Heidi now serving for Redeemer. Huggins with the first ball. Clements with the second. This is Surgener out of right side. She's blocked. Out to the left side now, and that one's just hitting into the net a little bit short. That was Brianne Hobbin out of left side. Heidi. And that one's just left a tad short. A service error for the Royals. Gives St. Clair the ball back. It's Lily Surgener, the first year outside hitter. And a huge hit out of middle from Joelle Lammers. Great kill. Kate DeYoung now serving after that big kill from Joelle Lammers a moment ago. Huggins with that first ball. Clements with the second. Big hit to the left side from Hobbin. OCAA second team All-Star last year. Will now be serving for the Saints. Surratt with the first pass. Lana DeYoung with the second, sets up a back row attack for Kate DeYoung, and she hit that one well, but the block was well positioned. No way through for Kate DeYoung's hit, and St. Clair will go to serve again. This will be Hobbin continuing her serving. Hobbin with the float serve. Hybert with the second ball. It'll be Surratt out of the back row. Clements out to the left side. That's Huggins. Great kill. Puts the Saints back up 2. Hobbin sends that one just a tad wide. Alana Hybert making the final call to leave it, and it was the right one. Hybert now serving. The Royals one back early in the second set. And Clements tries a little tip to catch the defense off guard, but sends it wide. I feel like it would have worked otherwise, as one of the Redeemer players was moving up quite quickly to cover the tip, but if that had gone deeper and in bounds, then might have caught Redeemer out, but not as such. Hit over the left side now for Huggins. A great block by Joelle Lammers. Sends that one right back. Redeemer takes the point there. Elena Hybert. First ball from Hobbin. Clements set out a middle for Harley Smith, and it's hit wide. Out of bounds. I thought that one was definitely in, but yeah, Smith definitely squared up her shoulders to the sideline, kind of coming up to that hit on more of an angle. Hit it wide. And that's an ace from Hybert. As the Royals have gotten a little bit of a run here now. That's 4 points in a row, with Elena Hybert doing some good work from the server's spot. Gill with the first ball. Clements with the second out to Huggins will have to tip. Lammers covers it well. Set it to the left side for Surrett. That comes back off the net, and I believe that'll be called as the fourth hit on the Royals. No touch from the Saints on that one, as the Royals give up a point. This is Harley Smith now. And it doesn't catch any of the back line. It looks like it almost did for a moment as it was dipping late in its flight. But missed serve from Harley Smith gives the Royals back the ball. Currently 3 points up, and it's fourth-year middler Joelle Lammers serving. Sends that one a bit deep. It just catches the back line. St. Clair almost did that a moment ago, but just got out. But Joelle Lammers was able to keep that one in for the Royals' point, putting them back up 4. Lammers just gets that one over. Difficult to keep up. It thought that might have been a tip on Clements, but no call. The referee was right there. Definitely saw all of it. Gill with the good first pass, set out of back row for Hobbin. And that's why she was a second-team All-Star last year. Great hit, just keeping it right above the net with lots of power. Difficult for the Royals to pass that one. And Clements will go back to the line to serve for St. Clair.
St. Clair's libero there really had to justify herself for the unfortunate bad pass right off the back, and she did that perfectly with the perfect dig and reading the tip perfectly well.
Absolutely. Clements again. Deep left. Bowers is there with the first ball. DeYoung out to Surrett on the left side. Skims the top of the net on the way through, and with the awareness to leave that pass from St. Clair that came over the net, Redeemer could tell that it was going wide. They left it, and will take a point from that. Redeemer up 3 with their setter, Alana DeYoung, serving. Gill with the first ball. Clements the second. Out to the left side, Surgener. Doesn't get the contact she wanted. That one's a little bit floaty and high. DeYoung will try the tip, and she finds the pot. Redeemer getting success through the tip still, midway through the second set.
Yeah, at this point, St. Clair's right side just seems to be kind of stuck in a middle state where she's not sure if she wants to get back and cover an ultimate cross shot or go in for a tip. She's kind of just in the middle there, which is just not really a great place to be. You'd rather just commit to one or the other.
Trying a big hit out of middle. That was Faith Kyler, but it'll come back off the net with no touch from the Royals. St. Clair will call a timeout, down 5 here. So the Royals getting a great start in the first set, taking that one by a few points, and now up 5 midway through the second. Everything going very well for the Royals so far. What are you seeing, Seth?
Yeah, St. Clair still seems to be struggling with the pass, and out of that pass often has not been coming a very consistent set. We saw recently the set to their left side, had their left side turning all the way around, hitting it behind their head, and trying just to roll it in. it's kind of been starting a lot with this pass, I feel like, for the St. Clair offense. They're not really putting their setter at 2.5 a whole lot, if any. Most of the time it's like either pushing them really far off the net, which is better than putting it over the net, but it's also like if the setter's not being able to set from that position and get a good ball out to left side, which has to be your safety option, then you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Royals doing well enough to not be making too many mistakes so far. Again, we've seen that they're getting a lot of their points through tipping, that is just consistently been a good option for them, so we'll see if they can keep relying on that. But they have service, and they have St. Clair on the back foot in the second set, which is a great spot for them to be. They're already 3 points just shy of what they were able to get in the second set last time against the Saints, and they're 5 up. So this is a really good place for the Royals. We'll see if they can keep this going. And DeYoung with the ball over. Hybert with the pass. DeYoung out to the left side, and that was just early tip from the right side blocker. I don't think she needed to make contact that early. Do you, Seth?
That is on the block there. The block should not be tipping that ball unless it's like coming right on top of their head. That looked like it was going over enough that somebody behind the block should have taken that.
No. DeYoung with another serve over. Gill with the first pass. Clemens with the second out to Huggins. Ada Cooks under that one. And a set out from Alana DeYoung to the right side. DeYoung has to tip. Now it's Alana DeYoung with the first ball. Kate DeYoung out of the right side, and she finds the back corner, that deep one spot. Great placement, and it puts the Royals up 7.
Yeah, it was a great shot, and it was actually good to see. We did see St. Clair's right side cutting in much more aggressively to get behind the block for a right side attack from Redeemer, covering that tip.
Alana DeYoung serving again. Hobbin with the first pass. Attack out of second from Kyler is over, and hit out of left side, stays off the roof from St. Clair's first pass. Hobbins gives a free ball over. Alana DeYoung out to the right side for Kate DeYoung. And comes back off the block, kind of parallel to the net. Redeemer not able to pass that. Still up 6. Kiana Huggins now serving for St. Clair. Nice rolling attack from Kate DeYoung. Surgeon out to the right side is blocked. Clemens to the left side for Hobbin. Good pass from Hybert, set to the right side for Surratt, and she saw the spot to tip, and had it got there, I think it would have been successful, but just didn't give it enough power. And St. Clair takes that point, and they're on a 2-0 run here, only down 5.
Slightly concerning that we're still relying on tips so much, because eventually St. Clair will figure it out.
That's true.
So the Redeemer Royals really probably should change something up and just be a little more aggressive here in attack. Like they're Steve.
Heidi again tipping out of middle, yeah. Surgeon are tipping it right back. That one's close to the net. DeYoung has to save it off the net. Hybert will set it out from the back row. A rolled ball to the deep corner. Hybert covers well. Alana DeYoung out to the left side for Kate DeYoung. She takes a swing at that one. Huggins, that one's almost on the roof. Hobbin out of the left side. Can't give her too many opportunities to do that because she's going to connect on one sooner or later, and she does.
Yeah, tough defensive move by Kayla Bowers there. You really want to be putting 2 hands on that ball and not just using one, because you have way less control, and B, it just a lot less consistent. Well, less control, less consistent, same thing kind of.
Huggins leaves that one short, gives the Royals a bit of a gift there, as it was a little bit of a scary run if it had continued. Royals being up 7, liking all the momentum that they had, but it was quickly evaporating. But they're back up 5 now, also with service. Avery Surratt, a 4th-year outside hitter. We'll try and carry them on in this set. Hobbins with the first ball, Clements the second. Out of the back row, Huggins straight into the torso of Alana DeYoung as she tries to make a pass but can't. This is Faith Kyler now for the Saints. Bowers, DeYoung. Hybert tips, somewhat finds the pot, but St. Clair is able to keep it up. DeYoung with the second out to Kate DeYoung on the right side. She hits a great ball through. Good kill out of the right side, Kate DeYoung.
No, we really thought that St. Clair had figured out the tip there, but still the pot is a great option. That one wasn't right over the block or right into like 3, so it was much better overall in terms of a tip location, because you have 4 people trying to converge and try to get the ball up in the air, which gave Redeemer the perfect opportunity to have a clean attack next one on the free ball.
Middle, Claire Heidi serving. It was left by serve receive, but it loses its momentum late in the flight of the serve and drops in even short of the back line. Royals up 6. St. Clair needing to call a timeout. 20-14 late in the second set. Redeemer doing a lot of things right, and St. Clair still really not playing a polished game yet.
Yeah, it's St. Clair's trying to find some answers right now. They just recently subbed in another front row setter because their starting setter is a little on the shorter side and not much of a blocking presence there. So they brought in the taller setter and hoping to get some blocking presence. But obviously, not sure what they're feeling and how they're going to bring in, who they're going to bring in out of this timeout. But something's got to change. They're not really doing a whole lot defensively right now, and Redeemer's attacking very effectively while still managing to get the tips to work. So it's kind of just going all in Redeemer's favor here.
Yeah, still up 6 with, that's a great margin, especially knowing that this St. Clair team is first in the OCAA West. I don't think they're on any sort of losing streak. They've only lost 1 game so far this season, so maybe some road struggles for the Saints. But as for the number 1 seed in the OCAA West, a bit uncharacteristic. But we'll see if the Royals can keep this run going. Redeemer Royals Volleyball would also like to thank Wes Skilstra of Remax Escarpment Realty, the official sponsor of our final score updates this season. Wes is passionate about helping families find their place to call home. So whether you are buying or selling, trust experience and integrity, and trust Wes Skilstra of Remax Escarpment Realty. Thank you, Wes, for your ongoing support of Redeemer Royals Athletics. This is Claire Heidi still serving for the Royals, but leaves that one short. Luckily, Redeemers built themselves a little bit of a cushion.
Don't want to give St. Clair any momentum at all, though.
Not at all.
They will run with it.
Not at all. This is Lily Surgener. Bowers now. Young out of middle to Lammers, hitting that out of middle. Joelle Lammers. Doesn't get through.
Yeah, I think Joelle Lammers just tried to do a little too much there. Tried to get it extremely across to the right side of the court and just wasn't able to quite do that.
Surgener serving. Surrett with a good first ball. Elena DeYoung out to the right side for Kate DeYoung. Gets that one through. We'll see if Redeemer can win this one in the middle. DeYoung tips over again, choosing not to hit. They'll get a free ball from the Saints. To the left side for Hybert. She hits that one using the block as a tool and out of bounds. Hybert with a kill out of left side. Put the Royals back up 5.
It's tough to see your setter. Them bring in a taller setter only for the ball to go over her hands. This is just unfortunate.
St. Clair with not the ultimate answer to whatever Redeemer's throwing at him, which is a bit of a mixed bag, which is good for the predictability, especially when the Royals are relying a lot on tipping. So good to also get a gift from St. Clair there as they leave that one a bit short.
St. Clair's offense there, that was not an ideal set to the middle at all. It was low and to her. Needed to be more in front so she could actually attack it.
Kate Young sending that one deep, but Gill gets a good first ball. This is out of right side. St. Clair able to keep this one up. Cabral tries a little tip, and she finds the pot perfectly. That was well done from Emma Cabral.
Yeah, especially with a different setter coming in, we're not really seeing. We haven't seen that setter do anything aggressive, like a dump at all. We've only seen one dump from St. Clair in this game in general. So seeing it out at this point, it was a great call.
Hybrid with that first ball, a little tight to the net. DeYoung tries to tip it over. And Surrett making a little bit of an unforced error on that pass, just leaving herself a little bit short. St. Clair back within 4, now having the serve on their side as well. This is recently into the game, Ariana Carl, third-year outside hitter for the Saints. Serves that one wide. The Royals will leave it. They'll get the point back and be up 5 points on the Saints with just 2 points to go in this set before they can grab set point and perhaps a 2-0 lead in this game. Hybert serving, sends that one a bit cross court. Cabral with the setup to the left side for Huggins, a bit tight to the net, but she hits it over the block. Royals will have to give a free ball here. That'll be Ada Cook giving it. Cabral with the set to middle. Tip from the Redeemer block. Joelle Lammers tries to tip that one over. Redeemer able to set up another attack. Surrett out of the left side, has to reach back a little bit. She's able to get it over, though. St. Clair will set up out of left side. Hybert with a lot of touches so far this game in the backcourt. Gill with the second ball, almost into the roof. Someone will have to give a free ball. Hybert with the first again. Elena DeYoung trying a little bit of a dump ball. Cook maybe almost called on a double hit there, but Surrett hits it out of the left side. We'll see what the call is. Tip off the block. Redeemer gets that point and gives themselves set point in this second set. It was unclear for a moment what the call was going to be, whether that was hit out of bounds by Avery Surrett or whether it was a tip off the block, but the call is made. And this is Alana Hybert with set point for the Royals with a chance to put them up 2-0 against the number 1 seed in the OCAA West. The serve's in. It's tight to the net. Redeemer block is all over it. It's back for the Saints. That sets up miraculously for a head on the left side. They block it, and it's in. A great block out of the Royals' right side to keep that ball in. I believe it landed right on the out-of-bounds line. So Redeemer winning these first 2 sets. I guess the set points are off a net violation and now a block that lands in bounds. So some good breaks for the Royals, but definitely they've been playing themselves into these situations. What was it? Winning the first set by like 3 or 4?
Yep.
And this by 7. St. Clair only able to get 18 points in this set. Yeah, we were wondering whether the Royals could keep pace with this in the first set after looking at their last game, but with the home crowd, seniors night, they're drawing on a lot of it, and they're keeping the momentum and actually improving in the second set.
Yeah, and we talked about St. Clair looking for answers. Something we didn't actually notice, and I didn't notice until like halfway through the set, was St. Clair actually brought in and started using 2 liberos. They were trying to really get a defensive libero presence in there.
Okay.
Just because their starting libero wasn't quite covering the court as well as she would like in the defensive side. She was doing great in the passing side for the most part. So we're kind of in that situation where St. Clair is just trying to find a solution. Like, they're not sure. Their defense is not doing phenomenal. Their offense is getting blocked, so they're just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah. And they've had some consistent presence, Huggins and Hobbin having some good hits out of the left and right side when they do, but it's really kind of just been the fallback for the Saints that those have been kind of their 2 players doing a lot of the damage so far. We saw them really like using the middles early in that first set. Hasn't been as much recently, but you could think that could still be a successful route for them.
It could be, and something I've noticed is their middles have just missed out a lot more recently because compensation, they tried. The one middle I seem to remember was she overcompensated and turned it too much and got way outside of the court. It happens when you get blocked once. If you don't turn enough and you hit too straight, you get blocked, so you try to compensate by turning more, and it just wasn't able to. She kind of overcompensated and hit it way too far, and nobody was there to defend it because it was going past the attack line out of bounds. So not much there we can really expect.
Yeah, so the Royals having a great showing so far, a great afternoon with a home game, senior night, last home game of the season, and enjoying some great success against the number 1 team in the West so far. Seth, what's one thing you could see for each team in this third set going forward?
Yeah, St. Clair's just got to figure out their defense. Mostly, there are so many tips where St. Clair ends up giving it back as a free ball. That just can't happen.
Yeah.
That somebody's got to be there reading that tip, popping it straight up, giving their team, their setter, lots of time to get under the ball and set the ball consistently.
Yeah.
They just haven't got the ball up and a tip at all. They've been at least playing it a little better this time around, but they just have not been getting it in the air very much at all. And with Redeemer, I want to see them utilize a little more of their back row just to mix up because St. Clair's already scrambling. So diversify where we're going a lot. We are hitting a lot of left sides right now, which is working. But if St. Clair locks up their block on that left side, we're in trouble. Our middles have been tipping a lot. Redeemer's Royals middles, which is it's good, but again, it can only work for so long. Yeah. So that's what I would like to see from both teams.
We'll see if either of those teams can do that in this third set. And we'll be back shortly to see if Redeemer can close this out or if St. Clair is going to make a game out of this. We'll be back soon. Redeemer getting the serve at the start of this third set. Currently up 2-0 today. This is Clements with setting a hit on the right side. The Royals get a good block, and they get a chance to start an attack here as well. Hits Kate DeYoung, hitting that one out of the right side, and I feel like we see that a lot out of her. Her able to pick out that back left corner spot, and she does it again there, giving the Royals the first point in this third set. Really likes hitting cross court out of right side, and it's working. It's Clements out to the right side for Huggins, and she hits that cross court, but it's out of bounds. Or sorry, no, inbounds. My apologies. Looks like the Royals were celebrating there for a sec, but Huggins hitting beside the block cross court is able to paint the line, and she'll be serving here. Sends that one a bit deep. It's a good couple feet out of bounds long. Huggins missing her first serve will give the ball back to the Royals to Avery Surrett to serve. Surrett gets that one in. Gill falling to her side to make that pass. Clements able to make something of it and get it to the left side, who's able to hit that one very well cross court. So a couple of cross court attacks for St. Clair working on these first couple plays.
Yeah, that was a heck of a spot, too. Painted the attack line across the court. That's a very hard shot to do, and she executed it perfectly.
Yeah, great hit from Ariana Carl, number 11, for the Saints. Elena DeYoung sets up Kate DeYoung, hits that one to the back corner again. A one-arm pass keeps it up for St. Clair. DeYoung now out to the left side for Hybert, hits it over the block. Good first pass. Clements has to set up a back row attack for Huggins, one of their stronger hitters, and she's able to convert. Faith Kyler. Standstill serve. Hybert's under it. Good ball to Alana DeYoung, who sets to Kate DeYoung. Going cross court again. I believe Oliver attacks out of right side. The set have gone cross court. Claire Heidi hitting into the block. Pops it up and over. No one in the pot to cover it. And the Royals will get that point.
That's a good sign for the Royals, coming out strong with a middle attack there. Obviously, we've been tipping a lot out of there in the later part of the last set, so it's good to see a strong attack that is able to find the floor.
Heidi now, who won that point a moment ago, serving. She has her characteristic spot, kind of the right side of the court for her serve, but it works. But that attack from Huggins from the back row was drilled right at her. Nothing much she can do there but pop it up, and St. Clair will get the point.
St. Clair showing they have that back row option when she's back there, and it's kind of it's going to be a game changer here if Redeemer isn't able to start digging that thing.
Yeah. Samantha Clements serving, gets a little bit of a fortunate tip off the top of the net. Causes Redeemer to scramble for the pass. They can't make it. So St. Clair up 2 early in this third set. Hybert. DeYoung now. Hybert will tip out of the left side, and she finds the pot. No one even in the vicinity to cover that.
Yeah, usually you want to see your person playing defense in either 6 or 5 swing in and push towards that, because then the ball is going towards where the setter is going to be. It seemed like our person playing defense in 1 was trying to get there, but that's just because nobody else was.
Yeah. Good first ball from Huggins on the DeYoung serve. Hit out of left side, and Carl is able to hit that one off the block. DeYoung not able to keep it up, and a point for St. Clair as Ariana Carl will go back to serve. Surrett gets that first ball. It's set up for Kate DeYoung on the right side. It's blocked and comes back for the Royals to set something up. They'll give a free ball, but a free ball hit out of bounds by Hybert. She's quick to acknowledge her mistake there, and the Royals move on, but they're down 3 early in this third set. Really, that free ball has to find its way in bounds, but Hybert has been playing a great defensive game all afternoon. She's had a lot of touches, a lot of good passes. She's got a hit out of left side here, hits it off the top of the block, and it's down. So a good kill from Alana Hybert, making up for her mistake a moment ago, and winning the Royals a point.
Yeah, it was a very strong attack from Hybert there, using the high hands of the block, hitting it right over top, getting a deflection to roll right into the pot. Not much more than a textbook volleyball off the block play you can get there.
Hybert giving a little float serve. That one's passed straight back to Redeemer. They'll get to set something up here at the middle. Lammers will kind of poke that one through. And a little bit of a last-second deflection off the net. Surrett was going to get a hand on it, but it was kind of carried further. Couldn't do so, and St. Clair gets the ball back here. This is Harley Smith. The middle going back to serve. Hybert. DeYoung tries to tip over. That one was moving with a lot of momentum, so it was kind of a good thing to choose there. Huggins hits it into the referee.
Poor official there, but I think he's a tough guy. He'll stand strong. Looked like a brick wall.
Yeah, I think so. Solid guy. Joel Lammers serving now, and that is one of the deepest serves we've seen yet this season. Although, no matter how far it is out, it's only 1 point. So
yeah, went through the wardrobe into Narnia. Some might even say. Yeah.
Yes. Well into Narnia. But that's okay. Things reset every point. This is Clements with the serve. A good bit of power behind that one. DeYoung out of the back row tips it into the pot, and again, St. Clair unable to cover it.
Yeah, in that situation, that's tough on St. Clair there. Your libero was sitting there waiting for the ball, and somebody dove in front of her, and the libero would have been able more suited to pass the ball up towards 2.5, which is where your setter is going to be.
Yeah. And a great hit from Huggins out of the right side, going cross court again. Redeemer kind of susceptible to that cross court attack early in this third set. It's the third time St. Clair has been able to do that, and I believe hit the ground, not even hit anyone on the way by. Huggins, Hybert with first pass, and it's just a little bit too far. That one's tipped down by St. Clair right side, and the Royals will call a timeout. Down 4. It's the first time the Royals have kind of been in this situation where they've needed to, I guess they called one timeout in the first set, but that was kind of after they had an established lead late, and then St. Clair got a couple of points. But this is kind of a proactive timeout from the Royals. Down 4, still not a ton of cause of concern, but St. Clair figuring a few things out, but still not showing that they're really, really far and away clear from the Royals, but they've still got a 4-point lead here.
Yeah, something that's clearly been shown by St. Clair has been their serving. They have very strong float serves, and we've known that this entire game, but this has been the first time they've been able to consistently put a bunch of them in, and it's been catching the Royals off guard. And the float serve, hardest serve to serve and pass in volleyball, unless a spinner, is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
It's you should be that's what I love about women's volleyball especially, is they all rely on the float serve, but a float serve is so much harder to pass.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot in the men's game that will do a spinner serve that's not really that hard, and it's okay, this is the most consistent ball I've ever seen. So
yeah,
I like the reliance on the float serve a lot because it's so much harder to pass in a lot of ways and takes a lot more care to pass.
Yeah. Any adjustments for Redeemer to make on the cross-court defense, kind of hitting out of right and left side, or is it not much that you can really give up there?
I would just like to point out you would really want to just see them cheat that block in a little bit, force her to go line. We have not seen her attack line yet at all. So that's something we just really hope to see here.
Yep. Ball back in play from St. Clair, going cross court again. Elena DeYoung gets there and covers it. Clements pushes it out to this left side, and it's a block from Redeemer. Getting all of that out of the timeout, winning that first point is crucial to tip the momentum. Royals getting another point there as Avery Surrett now serving. Set to the back row for Huggins, and that's a difficult ball to pass. Surrett doesn't get clean contact on it, but Huggins picking up some rhythm, both hitting out of right side and the back row kind of out of middle. Doing good work for the Saints as they go back up 3.
Yeah, they're really showing they have that pipe attack with her. It was a great set and a great attack all around.
DeYoung puts that in a tough spot. The block covers it well, but unable to kind of field that that first ball off their block. St. Clair up 4 with Faith Kyler serving. Standstill float serve. Harbor with first ball. It's out to Kate DeYoung on the right side. The block touches that one, but both the Youngs aware enough to leave that, let it drop out of bounds, and give the Royals a point.
I like to use both the Youngs there. I like that, Jared.
Yeah. Efficiency. Claire Heidi now serving. Leaves that one a little bit short. She has her characteristic spot that she likes to put it kind of on the right side of the court, kind of halfway to the back of the court, but she leaves that one short and middle, so maybe just a little bit of a poor contact there from Claire Heidi. So serve receive here for the Royals as that serve was moving a little bit, but Surratt gets a good first pass as Kate Young hits that off the top of the block, and it spins into a tough spot that was uncovered, and the Royals get a point out of that.
I like that there. Kate Young obviously had a few attacks that didn't go her way, and just the idea of keep going to her so that she can get it back that confidence, and now I have no doubt that the next one will be a strong attack that ends up landing very aggressively in the court.
Clement set out to the left side. That one's a bit behind the left side hitter, Carl, but she makes do with it, but someone who makes do even more is Joelle Lammers out of middle, able to put that one in the back right corner. Great kill out of middle for Joelle Lammers. Katie Young with the serve, and Huggins not able to take enough power off of it, hits it into the rafters, and the Royals have themselves back within one.
Yeah, it's tough when you see that float serve coming in, you get caught swinging your arms up. So often, especially at Redeemer here, you're going to hit that ball straight into the roof.
DeYoung with some movement on that serve, making it difficult to pass up, but Huggins gets a tip out of the back row. Now Redeemer trying a pipe ball of their own, but it comes back off the block, and Ada Cook isn't able to get to her left fast enough to make it pass, and St. Clair goes back up 2. This is Ariana Carl serving for the Saints. Gives this one deep right. Heidbert can't get it to the setter, but Surratt will improvise with the second ball. That's a good pass from St. Clair, and it sets up a great attack out of the middle. Katie Young eats that and gives it a good pass up, but it's kept up by St. Clair. I definitely thought that was down, but we'll see if Lammers can make do in the middle. That one looked like it was heading long, but it's passed by St. Clair. Huggins reaching back behind her head. Lammers covers it. Free ball from Kayla Bowers, doing good to keep that in. Out to the left side now for Huggins. Big hit. Deep on the line. Great rally from both teams there, but St. Clair getting the final say with their good attack on the left side.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to keep going to her if it's not going to be stopped. And it was great. Redeemer did a great job there overall, digging that ball, and it was great.
Yeah, it seems like most hits for the Saints are coming through Huggins right now, but that one was just popped up into a perfect spot for Harley Smith in the middle.
Seems like a timeout coming in.
Yes, Kate Grassman signals to the official that she'd like a timeout. Royals down 4 again. This is the same kind of situation they were in a moment ago, down 11-7, I believe. They made a nice little run out of that timeout, but find themselves in the same predicament with St. Clair getting closer towards winning this set. Still only within 4, but the Royals need to talk some things over. What do they need to look at here, Seth?
Yeah, just got to figure out some kind of solution for, what's her name, strong, power, left side attacker, runs things in back row for St. Clair. Huggins, yeah. They just need to figure out a solution for her. I did notice that Redeemer stopped pulling in their opposite blocker that wasn't going to block into cover tips. St. Clair has not been tipping well, so that is, or tipping at all, really, for the most part.
That's true.
So it was a good call on them, and we saw it be effective there as the ball was by Huggins was hit directly at Alana Heibert, who was able to dig it and pop it up. So as long as we can get a blocking presence on her and force her to go high hands, we should be able to get something off of it. But that involves being there on time and just being consistent.
Yeah. Would be a little bit maybe too good to be true if the Royals were able to get a 3-0 win here, but they're still up 2-0. So even if St. Clair is able to take this one, we've still got a game ahead of us. But we resume here in a moment with St. Clair serving. St. Clair serving. Surratt with the first ball there, able to keep it off the roof. Heibert kind of gives a little bit of a rolling attack out of left side. And a good block from Joelle Lammers in the middle. Keeps it on St. Clair. Huggins. Great pass by Kate DeYoung to keep it off the roof again. Heibert again not able to get a great hit out of left side. The block was a little bit late there, but Kate DeYoung bailing them out. Heibert again for the third time. Good save from Gil, the libero. But it sets up a back row attack, and that one's hit long, but we got a touch. Point will be given to St. Clair.
And unfortunately, he's going right off top of the block there. And St. Clair showing they had another back row presence for the first time, I think, this game. So that was kind of something we didn't expect to see.
And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Surratt with a good first ball. A little bit tight to the net, but DeYoung's able to set it for Hybert, but she has to tip it over. This is Huggins off the top of the net. Kate DeYoung sprawls to keep it up. Attack out the left side again. It's blocked. Out of the middle now for Lammers, and she finds the pot again. Tipping still working for the Royals. St. Clair not covering the pot yet again.
Tipping is still working for the Royals. It's crazy that we're saying that sentence in the third set. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Royals still down 4, but they have the serve now. This will be Alana Hybert. That one was going a little bit deep, but I think still in. Gill makes the first pass, and Huggins sends that one long with the rolling hit, giving the Royals another point and bringing them back within 3.
Yeah, Huggins just a little late there. Hit that ball on her way up, causing the ball to go up and just long out of bounds.
Hybert straight to the libero. Clements gets it to the left side for Huggins again. They're feeding her because it's working. I mean, she was hitting against Alana DeYoung there too. There's quite a few inches between those two players.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation where you have your setter in the front row in this situation with their strongest hitter also in the front row. Not a great combination when your setter has to block them.
Hybert with the ball. Set to Joelle Lammers, and tipping again, kind of finding that short right spot. What is that? The 3 spot. Lammers is able to get that to
a 4 spot, Jer.
4 spot, my apologies.
Yeah. But it was just great read by Joelle. Joelle read that the block was coming in from 4 and was able to just put a perfect tip there.
Lammers with the serve now. Huggins with the first pass. Clemens set to the middle for Kyler. Surratt has to tip that one over. It's hit straight back by the middle. Hybert now giving it to Surratt. She can't get that one over. I believe that'll be Redeemer's 4th hit. No touch off the block, just the net. So St. Clair gets to 20 here. 4 up on the Royals. With Hannah Clements going back to serve. That one's a little bit deep. Left well by Bowers. Redeemer back within 3. Lana DeYoung, good float serve. That one dipping right at the end, giving St. Clair some trouble. That one's lofted forward by Gill. And Kate DeYoung at the right side, again picking her spot, kind of cross-court deep. She's got that on lock right now.
That was very well done by the middle, drawing the block clearly. Yeah, and not surprised here we see St. Clair call a timeout once Redeemer gets within 2 here. But the middle there, very much able to draw a block, leaving Kate DeYoung one-on-one. And if you're on the Redeemer Royals, that's exactly on your roster who you want to go one-on-one, and you'll take that any day.
Yeah, good little run from the Royals there to pull themselves back within 2. Yeah, we saw still kind of St. Clair going to the same things, Huggins out the left side, but Redeemer finding a couple tips in that segment, working one into the pot and one to the 4 spot, still working for them. And, I mean, we've said that it's been a big part of what they're going to, but really what matters is getting points on the board. And if that's what is working against this St. Clair team right now, then the Royals are going to keep doing that.
Yeah, and, like, something we've also seen is Redeemer has found an answer for their middles in a lot of ways. St. Clair's middles have been running good attacks. It's not like they've been doing bad attacks or have had bad sets in the middle. Redeemer's just always able to get a piece of it with their block, and which is really slowing down and allowing their defense to pop it up, which has just given them such a strong advantage.
Yep.
So they just got to figure out, even the answer for the left side, like they can't set to the left side every single time, so Redeemer's relying on that. And overall, yeah, just kind of doing really good. We're not professionals, folks.
Clement set it to the right side. Huggins has to run at that one and get a 1-footed attack, but it works. Goes straight into the Redeemer block and down. As Huggins will go back to serve now. Huggins sends that one deep, and it's long. She's had a good few of those in terms of her serves all game, and a couple hits as well. So the amount of power she has hitting both out of kind of that pipe slot in the back row and also out of left side, Huggins has definitely given the Royals a good few free points off of her serves and attacks. It's keeping the Royals in this one only 2 back, as that's a big hit out of middle for Faith Kyler.
Yeah, that was a solid, quick back middle. You don't see that a lot in the women's game. That is probably the first one I've seen this season, which is quite phenomenal. Most of the time, if they're going backwards, they're doing that slide attack. But that's something really is impressive to see.
This one's a little bit tight to the net. Hybrid sets this for Lana DeYoung, who sets it out right to Kate DeYoung. That one just almost grazes the ceiling. Doesn't quite. This is a rolling ball given to Bowers with the first pass out to middle for right side for Kate DeYoung. She tips. A good block from the right side. Carl has to tip that one over. DeYoung with the first ball, so it'll be Bowers for the second. Kate DeYoung trying to pick her spot in the back row. Huggins just sending one arm at it, unable to keep it up, kind of low. St. Clair not able to make the second pass, and the Royals pull themselves back within 2.
Yeah, tough to see the attempt at a one-arm dig. One-arm digs can have their chances where they do work, but in that situation, if she had another arm there, it was going up instead of going down. So
Heidi. Love a dipping serve and more to the middle. DeYoung set out to Hybrid on the left side. This one comes off the block and rolls kind of parallel to the net in a difficult spot for anyone to cover. And it'll be a point for the Royals. They're now only one back.
Yeah, it was a great serve. Caught the setter coming across from like 4 into 2.5, and so they had to play it, and then they just gave us a free ball.
Heidi serving. Just tips the net. Huggins is able to get a good clean pass on it. Set out a middle. And we see St. Clair returning to their middles a little bit late in this third set. That's Harley Smith with that hit. And Seth talked about the action that they ran a second ago. That was very successful for them. So we're seeing St. Clair diversify their attacking presence a little bit as they go back up to 23-21. This is a big serve here as it puts them at set point if they do win it. Kayla Bowers needing to react late and kind of throws a fist at that ball, but the Royals able to keep it up. It is a free ball, though. Got to defend out of this left side. It's kept up. It'll be a free ball. The Bowers with the first, Alana DeYoung the second. It's tight to the net. DeYoung has to tip, and it's an easy ball for St. Clair to cover. Cabral with the set out to the left side. It's kept alive by the Royals. DeYoung with the second ball. Surratt will have to keep this one in, and she can't. She didn't get a good contact on it out of the back row. That puts St. Clair at set point. This one's over. Bowers again having a tough time with that one. Just a little bit of a kind of a knuckleball serve, a floater serve with a lot of movement on it, giving the serve receive some problems. And Bowers twice in a row as she's unable to make a clean pass on that one. That one going into the net. So Redeemer losing the third set, 25-21. And yeah, just kind of a little bit of a kind of a new era of things that we haven't seen much in this set so far with some struggles on the serve receive and some strong hits out of St. Clair, which we didn't really see a lot out of that third set, but it happened at the end and carried St. Clair to their first set victory of the afternoon.
Yeah, St. Clair's serving is certainly something that carried them a lot in that set, just because they were so dominant with their float serves and just being consistent. They were putting a lot in. Redeemer's serve receive was, as you said, having a lot of struggles with that, and it's just unfortunate. But when it comes down to it, like, both teams are not doing phenomenal on serve receive. Again, we haven't seen a lot of fantastic passing by any means in this game, but both teams need to figure out the serve receive, and that's pretty much going to be the decider who's going to give themselves the most opportunities to run some good, clean attacks, because overall, Redeemer's defense, I would say, is still doing much better than St. Clair's, but St. Clair's offense is much stronger in a lot of ways, too, so it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah. So we've got an even game on our hands. Redeemer's still going, still up 2-1 going into this fourth set. But while we have a break, I'd like to remind you that tonight's Redeemer Royals volleyball game is brought to you by Finn Pools, a proud sponsor of your Royals, as well as the Make a Splash move of the game. For over 25 years, Finn Pools has been transforming backyards with custom designs, expert installations, and trusted maintenance, delivering top-quality products they stand behind. From concept to completion, they believe kindness matters and every project deserves excellence. So if you are interested, visit finnpools.ca, that's FINNPOOLS.ca, to learn more or to start your next pool project today. Thank you to Finn Pools for supporting Redeemer Royals Athletics. We will take a quick break and be back for the fourth set. This is Emma Clements to start off this fourth set for the Saints with the serve. And Hybert unable to get a clean pass on that one.
That was kind of an awkward spot for the ball. It was kind of in between his seam and being right on Bowers, and they obviously had communicated right seam, so that was Alana's ball, but they just kind of had a bit of overlap as to whether it was right in front of her.
Clements again. That one just gets a tiny bit of tip off the net, but Hybert's able to keep it up with a good effort. Surrett again on that final ball over, leaving it short, just like at the end of the third set a moment ago. Two points is nothing to be afraid of early in this set, but knowing that having 1-2 and not being able to put the third away all in a row, and now St. Clair having won the most recent set, St. Clair having more of the momentum with them, although the Royals can still be confident that they've taken 2 sets off the Saints already. Hybert with a good first ball, a little bit tight to the net, but Heidi is able to get up and hit over the block. Out of middle, and good kill for the Royals.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went on there on St. Clair's side. It was a tight set that seemed like the perfect opportune ball to put to a middle, and Redeemer did, and there wasn't really a huge blocking presence.
Clements out to the left side for Lily Surgener. Cook with the first ball, set out to the back row for Hybert, and just a little bit low on the attack. Gives St. Clair the ball back. So Redeemer making some kind of unforced errors so far earlier in this first set, and that's kind of what we've been talking about. The St. Clair offense kind of being strong, Redeemer having a stronger defense at the moment, but Bowers able to keep that one in. That looked like it might have been going long, but regardless, it's kept in, and Kate DeYoung out of left side finds a great pot in the middle of the court. Good kill, a lot of power. Kind of cross court again. Kate DeYoung not one to go line very often.
No. Not much line at all. I haven't seen a single line attack this game.
I don't think so. Clements keeps that one up. Surgeon out of the right side. Hits it off the top of the block, and that one's kind of rolling back. Difficult to pass, and it falls deep in on the Royal side of the court. Gives St. Clair a 2-point lead. Faith Kyler with the standing serve. Bowers has a good first ball to Alana DeYoung. Hit from Kate DeYoung is blocked and sent back to the Royals. They're able to keep it up and now hit out of middle. Clements is there with the first ball, so it'll be Huggins with the second. It's tipped. This will have to go over from the Saints. It's just far enough over that the Royals can't hit it straight back at them, but Kate DeYoung almost uses the block incredibly well. Redeemer wondering about a fourth touch there from the Saints, but it doesn't end up being consequential as Redeemer gets a great hit out of the left side to get the ball back and bring themselves back within 1. But a potentially missed fourth hit there called by the officials. Seth, did you see anything there or not?
I did not, to be honest.
It's tipped out of middle from St. Clair. Royals will set this one right back to middle. Joelle Lammers hits a great hit, but Huggins is there to get it. That one's left a little bit short.
That was a 4.
Yeah, we think that one was.
That was straight into the net.
We'll see if the Royals can put this one away after maybe they think they're deserving of a fourth hit called on St. Clair. But they're doing some good blocking here. We'll see if they can keep it up, but not so. It's odd for that to be called a couple times in a row at least, or kind of missed by the ref, also against the same team, allegedly, of course. But
Yeah.
We've had a very cleanly called game so far, not really any disputes going on in the first 3 sets, so this is kind of the first drama we've had with the whistle, but I'd like to avoid as much of that as you can. Lammers giving a free ball to St. Clair's. This is out to the left side now for Carl, and she's able to use the block as a tool. Good kill, and put St. Clair back up 3. Surgener with a powerful serve to the back court. DeYoung sets it up for Hybert, who tips. Surgener gets there to cover it, and it's out to the left side now. St. Clair will give a free. DeYoung took the first ball, but it didn't seem like she needed to. Hybert will give a free ball as we set for Huggins out of the back row, and the back row pipe ball from Huggins continually giving the Royals problems.
Redeemer is giving St. Clair a lot of options here, and they're giving them a lot of free balls and a lot of balls that they can just pop up, and they're doing a good job of getting that tip up in the air, and St. Clair is just capitalizing perfectly.
Surgener now to Bowers, who is unable to make a clean pass on that. It goes out of bounds. The Royals down 5 early. This was the one thing that we had said the Royals were kind of playing better was their defense, but I mean, kind of, defense and offense are separate things, but they are kind of connected. If you play good defense, you're more likely to get a good pass and a good set. But the Royals just kind of making some mistakes early on in this fourth set to give St. Clair a bit of a lead.
Yeah, Redeemer's not giving themselves a lot of good options on the attack. Their defense is still getting the ball up, but they're just not really capitalizing. Combination of not great positioning of the ball from the defense, which obviously getting the ball up is its own feat in itself. But another thing is actually putting it in a position where our setter can actually set the ball. And we saw our setter also being forced to take a lot of defensive balls as well. So that's great on St. Clair's part because they're taking the setter out as quickly as they can in most situations. But obviously, St. Clair is not the team you want to be giving free balls to because they are just, as we have seen, once their offense gets running, there's not much Redeemer's block can do to slow it down.
Yeah. Also like to thank Wes Skilstra of Remax Escarpment Realty, the official sponsor of our final score updates this season. Wes is passionate about helping families find their place to call home. So if you're buying or selling in the Hamilton area, trust experience and integrity, and trust Wes Skilstra of Remax Escarpment Realty. Thank you, Wes, for your ongoing support of Redeemer Royals Athletics.
Also, if you've seen our broadcast before, we like to mention he's also the men's volleyball head coach.
Yes, they will be in action later today at around 5 o'clock or maybe a tad later because of this game possibly going along in the seniors' night festivities as well, but we'll probably get that men's game started a little bit after 5 o'clock as we saw a missed serve from St. Clair a moment ago and some good defensive rallying here from both teams, but it's Huggins out of the back row. She'll opt to tip this one. Didn't really have an optimal setup for an attack. Hybert is able to hit that one over the block, cause some confusion, and get a great kill out of left side.
That's a great spot, just right over the block, right in between 5 and 6 there. So not giving them a whole lot of choice, causing the libero to come across, and then just causing a lot of confusion.
Kate DeYoung with the float serve. Huggins is able to pass the first. Harley Smith out of middle gets a clean contact. Not much blocking presence there. She's able to hit around it at least, find a nice spot, and put the Saints back up 4.
I'd like to say we are mentioning Huggins as an offensive threat a lot, but she is also very good at passing and a very good defender.
Very much,
we have seen her dig a lot.
This is Bowers. Elena DeYoung tries the tip, and she succeeds on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how St. Clair didn't see that one coming a mile away and have somebody in the pot.
Yeah, that was carrying with a lot of momentum towards DeYoung. It was going to be a tough pass to keep it on Redeemer's side of the court. The much more easy answer was to throw a dump ball at it, and it worked out. This is a little bit tight to the net for St. Clair. They're unable to make do with that. Huggins sends it wide out of bounds cross court.
Yeah, I think when you see Huggins going up to attack in that situation, Redeemer very much wants to have somebody on that attack line. She has gone there pretty consistently, which is a great task, but very difficult to do. In that situation, like I just said, almost like Redeemer should have somebody on the attack line because she's great at hitting cross court perfectly. That is that is the volleyball perfect cross court shot, hitting that attack line across.
Yeah. A serve from Smith now. Elena DeYoung out to the left side for Avery Surrett, who we haven't seen attacking in a little while.
Yeah, it's somebody who's been a little slow this game for sure. It's good to see her finally get some momentum going here, especially since there's been a few balls where it's been just kind of she has to put a free ball over and has unfortunately hit it into the net or something. So we want to see that confidence build come back for sure.
Yeah, true. Great hit down the line, finding that one spot. Clements with the set out to the left side for Huggins again. And Clements hits quickly out of the middle, but is she a back row player hitting out of the front there?
Yeah, so back row hands. Obviously, you can't really attack the ball unless you take off from behind the back court, behind the attack line. So she just was way in front of that, actually. It wasn't even close.
And Clements seeming like she was unaware of that as she kind of reacted to the call, but it seemed like her position was in the back court.
which is kind of weird because she's in the front row now.
That's what I just noticed as well.
So I'm not really sure how that one worked there.
No, me neither. So maybe she had a point.
Maybe she did have a point and a right to attack that ball. Not sure.
Setting up a back row attack for Carl, but that one's now set up to the left side for the Royals, and Surrett getting another attack very recently after her most recent one. Kind of to the same spot, and the Royals will take a lead on that attack with a nice little resurgence in attacking from their left side. Avery Surrett. We've seen, a lot of Kate DeYoung this game, some good hits out of Joelle Lammers in the middle, but Surrett definitely still a presence in this game, but hasn't had a good attack in a little bit, but now she responds with 2 in a row, which is awesome.
Yeah, and we're seeing Redeemer has a bit of an answer for St. Clair's left side all of a sudden, which we've seen that kind of go back and forth throughout the game, of course, but putting a solid block on her and also just having her make a few mistakes hitting it out and just having defenders in positions they need to be in. It's been working very well. St. Clair has not really utilized a whole lot else right now in these last few points. They've been putting it to the left side very consistently, so...
Yeah. Did we have an early timeout from Redeemer in this set, or am I
7-3, yeah.
7-3.
Yeah.
So a great comeback so far to go on an 8-3 run since then to have the lead now. So the Royals doing some good work here in this 4th set. Again, currently up 2-1. They could put it away if they do get this set here for the afternoon.
Which an anonymous source told me that would be the first time since 2020 that the women's volleyball program has beaten St. Clair.
Okay. So a little bit of a legacy win on the line here. A bit of a defining win of a bit of a volleyball era. So we'll see if the Royals can close this one out here in the 4th set. I don't know what I was saying. We're not professionals.
We are not professionals, folks.
Sorry about that. 11-11 here. St. Clair taking that point back. Clements to serve here. Hyber with the first ball. DeYoung has to cover a little bit of ground to make that up. Surrett going with the tip, and it causes a lot more problems than the quality of the tip. Yeah. But it's out to the left side for her again. She'll tip that one, leaves it short. No, 4th hit called. It looks like it got some net contact. Maybe St. Clair kind of giving their grievances for that one. But again, what do we see, Seth?
I think I've mentioned this
just maybe once or twice
or a few times now. She's going to that attack line every single time she goes cross court.
Yeah.
She has never attacked line once.
Yeah. It's like what we've been saying about Redeemer tipping. If it's going to keep working, they're going to keep doing it, right? So now we're seeing Huggins really just locked in on finding that cross court hit out of left side. We'll see if it here. She chooses to go down line there, but it still works out. Kind of hitting into the block, getting a tip off of it. But
she must have heard us.
Yeah, I think so. Bowers with a good first ball there. Landon DeYoung out to the left side for Surrett. Hits that one into the block. It's kept up by Kate DeYoung. This one's got to go from Avery Surrett. It does. And that one's over the net. Oh, Redeemer could have had an opportunity to hit that one straight down. They might have another one here. Neither of them working out for the Royals. That's something you don't see very often. As we'll set up a Kate DeYoung C ball out of the back row. This one's a free ball. Kate DeYoung dives to get there. Landon DeYoung tips it over. This one's going over from St. Clair. It's out wide, but Kate DeYoung keeps that one up as Surrett tips it. Out to the right side for Surgener, and she finds that hit down line set. That was an interesting rally.
That was the scrappiest volleyball I've seen in a while. No team was able to really attack the ball. They were all just tipping, and then the one team that finally got to attack it got the point.
Heidbert into Heidi, who finds that 4 spot on the tip.
Yep, good number, Jer. Good number there, Jer.
Thank you.
Obviously, again, you see that block come in, so you may as well just put a tip right there because you know nobody's there.
Elena DeYoung now serving. Gill with the first ball. Set out to the left side for Surgener. The block gets in the way of that. Clements wanting the second ball, but she was blocked off by one of her front rows. Free ball from the Royals. Gill, Clements, and out to the right side for Huggins. Into the block. Left side for Surgener. She tips it. Cook gives a free ball deep, sends Gill scrambling, but it's out to the left side now. Surgener mounting an attack again. And Heidbert diving, getting some contact on it, but not enough to keep it up and in the court. And St. Clair takes that point. Still only up 3. Redeemer keeping this one close enough. But they will call a timeout there. Interesting.
Yeah. Coach Kate Grassman very much in this situation wants to win this in 4. Don't want to see it go to 5 at all. If you do, you're just increasing the chances of St. Clair, who does have the higher performing stance coming into this game by far, to take this one.
Yeah. Tonight's Redeemer Royals volleyball game brought to you by Finn Pools, a proud sponsor of your Royals, as well as the Make a Splash move of the game. For over 25 years, Finn Pools has been transforming backyards with custom designs, expert installations, and trusted maintenance, delivering top quality products they stand behind. From concept to completion, they believe kindness matters and every project deserves excellence. So if you are interested, visit finnpools.ca, that's FINNPOOLS.ca, to learn more or to start your next pool project today. Thank you as always to Finn Pools for supporting Redeemer Royals Athletics. Huggins serving for the Saints. Bowers with the first ball. DeYoung set out to the left side for DeYoung. She goes cross court. Surprise, surprise. As Bowers again with first. Out to the right side now for Surrett, hitting out of that right side. Second ball from the middle there, but it's set up. Carl makes some great work out of that from left side. Gill out to Surgener, who takes that on the second hit. DeYoung keeps it in. It'll be a free ball from the Royals. They'll push that one somewhat deep, but not really that deep. And Carl now hitting on the left side, tries to do the Kiana Huggins and go cross court. Unable to, leaves it a bit short.
Yeah, she was trying to aim for the middle line there on the other side of the court, and had to go through the net to get there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Avery Surrett now. Carl with that first pass, set up to the right side for Surgener now, and that one's deep. We'll see if there was a touch off the block. No such contact. And we'll have a Royals point as they draw themselves back within 1.
Now, I don't know why they were trying to get a touch call there. That was about a foot over the block.
I was just saying I didn't.
Oh, yeah. No, the St. Clair team was trying to, yeah.
Oh, were they? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. It's Gill with that first ball. Clements out to the left side now. Carl, who is able to roll that one off the block and down. Winning back St. Clair the point.
Yeah, it's a tough situation as a middle there. She was kind of cut off guard, and she was anticipating actually pulling back and getting her hands out of the way if it was a soft enough attack, and she kind of didn't decide, so kind of having to deflect off.
We got a lot of glide on that serve from Faith Kyler. She sends that one quite deep out of bounds.
That one did bounce off the wardrobe, though.
Yeah.
It did not quite go all the way to Narnia, if you will.
Claire Heidi now serving for the Royals. Pretty consistent server, but she's been given some different looks this afternoon, even kind of taking a little bit of a jump serve there, but getting a great one-handed dig on that to keep it up. And Kate DeYoung attack out of the right side. It's kind of off the net from St. Clair. They're still getting a little bit of a rolling attack as this comes to the left side. Hybert off the net a little bit as well. Does the best she can. It's Surgener now. Elena DeYoung will get a good set here. Kate DeYoung tips this deep, almost over Clements, the St. Clair setter, but a good block by the Royals keeps it inbounds. They'll win that point and tie this thing at 16.
Overall, great attack. That was a much better rally than some of the previous ones we've seen. Both teams, solid attacks, solid defense.
Yeah, true.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that was a rally, but with a lot of attacks going both ways. That's
yes.
True. Yeah, which we've seen more kind of tipping and scrambling and free balls in the past. That one was a really clean rally. Good point. So Huggins again making her impact on the defensive end with that first touch. And DeYoung getting a good first touch on that as well. As Clement sends it over half-heartedly, almost doesn't make it, but it does. Now sets to middle as Harley Smith sends that one deep and wide. Gives the Royals a 17-16 lead. Royals really wanting to have this one done in 4.
Yeah, St. Clair is really struggling to get their middles back on track here. Yep. Lots of out of bounds.
Claire Heidi to Gill. Clements out to the left side now for Carl. She got way up for that one. It stays out of the rafters, even though it was definitely high enough to hit them. Royals now dealing with a free ball. Heidi with the second, and DeYoung hit out of the right side. We'll see if Elena DeYoung does get the second ball here, and she hits off the block, uses it as a tool, gets it out of bounds. The Royals now up 2 with some momentum in their favor, and St. Clair will call a timeout. How the turntables, everybody. I'm forgetting what scores we were at when, or it was a 7-3 timeout when St. Clair was up, and then the Royals brought it back to 11-10, and now up 18-16. Looking like they were struggling like in this last set and a half. Looks like St. Clair definitely could have taken a hold of this game, but they haven't really seized the moment, and the Royals have still been able to stay up.
Yeah, this game is very much just coming down to who can get the cleanest last attack in a lot of ways. Both teams are defending very well against balls that are going off their blocks and just over. Both teams are doing a phenomenal job overall all around, but Redeemer is just getting that last solid attack that has one less blocker there for either the reason because their middles drew it away or something like that, or using their blocks. They've been using their blocks very well to their own advantage.
Yeah, we really haven't seen many large runs where one team has looked like head and shoulders above the other. It's been a very close game, but we know that either team could really pull away late in this fourth set. Again, Seth, you've mentioned Redeemer really wanting to finish this one off in 4, and St. Clair definitely not wanting a stain on their record. They want this number 1 seed in the OCAA West. So they both got plenty of reason to want to take this one home.
Yeah, do we know what the record of the second place is?
I think Humber's 12-2 or 11-2. I'll check on that in a moment.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Something I also mentioned or wanted to mention, Brianne Hobbin. We haven't seen a lot of her this game. Maybe just on a little bit of a minutes restriction possibly, but I believe she was a second-team OCAA West All-Star last year and not getting a ton of time. We saw her kind of in the second set a lot, but as St. Clair blasts that one long, Redeemer puts themselves back up 3. But yes, Brianne Hobbin, a second-team All-Star member. I would have expected her to get some more minutes tonight, but she's back in here heading out of left side and gets that one to roll off the top of the net. Heidi with the second ball. This will be a free ball for the Saints to deal with, and they'll get a hit out of middle. It rolls off the top of the block. DeYoung out to the right side for Kate DeYoung. Hits it deep, and it catches the back line.
Redeemer is doing a fantastic job of playing defense off of their block. Every single ball that goes into the block and into their side of the court, they are getting up in the air and giving themselves opportunities like that to just finish the play.
Yeah. So Humber is 12-2. St. Clair currently 12-1. So a loss here would put St. Clair on par with Humber and kind of leave that number 1 spot disputed as Redeemer gets their first roof contact of the or maybe second roof contact of the afternoon. Definitely a lot less than Humber has had, or Humber, my goodness, St. Clair has had. That's what looking at the standings does to you. As we see Emma Cabral come back into the game for Surgeoner, as well as Samantha Clements come into the game for Emma Clements.
Yeah, wanting a more defensive setter in, playing in the back row and giving her the more opportunities to attack in the front as well.
Yeah.
Now that was a phenomenal set.
I'm sure half the athletic center here today was celebrating, thinking that point was one off the first touch, but it almost seemed like it was playable for a second, but a great timed set and a great hit by Joelle Lamers out of middle. Yeah. Kate Young with the serve. Gill doesn't really get it to the setter spot. This one's way off the net for Huggins, but she makes do with it. Causes the defense some struggles. They can't get a clean pass as it was kind of in between 2 players for the Royals. They're still up 3. But it's Brianne Hobbin here, serving now for the Saints. And Bowers unable to take enough power off of it into the roof now.
Yeah, just unfortunate that she got caught backpedaling that situation. Number one thing you don't want to do with float serves is backpedal in them. If you're backpedaling and you think it's going to be in, you may as well just step forward and take it with your hands.
But Hobbin gives the Royals a gift there, hitting it wide, putting the Royals back up 3. And 3 points away from closing this out.
Not sure if St. Clair's used both their timeouts yet.
I don't
Because if so, if Redeemer gets a point here, we will for sure see another timeout from St. Clair.
Yeah. Well, I think we might have. What's it at? Because they called one at when it was 11-10 for the Royals, and then also when it was 18-17.
So I don't think they have any timeouts left.
Yes, they might not. Yeah. This is Harley Smith serving. Hyber with the first ball. She's had a lot of those this afternoon. Kate Young working out of the back row. Huggins now to the left side and finding a little bit of a different spot than she has most of the afternoon, but it's still enough in front of Kayla Bowers to not let her pass that.
Yeah, it was tough. It was straight over the block. Not much you can do there as a defense. It was just a perfect set for her, and it was a perfect height for her, so she was able to just put it straight down.
Smith. Hyber with a great first pass. Out to the left side now for Surrett. Hits that through the block down the line. An absolute powerhouse of a hit, but Cabral gets some good contact on it as Kate DeYoung's under that one. Set out a middle now, and great spot. Great spot by Joelle Lammers out of the middle, hitting it to that back right 5 spot. Putting the Royals up 2 points away from the end of the game. This would be a huge statement win as we see a substitution here for the Royals, bringing in Scarlett Surrett to serve for Joelle Lammers here at the end of this 4th set. This is Scarlett Surrett's first action of the afternoon. And that one was definitely going long. Correct me if I'm wrong, but St. Clair chooses to pass it and keep it in play as DeYoung will roll that one over. That one almost looked like it hit the floor, but it didn't. St. Clair able to keep it up, but Royals will have a free ball now. DeYoung out to the left side for Surrett. She hits through the block, and it's just long. We're going to have ourselves a close one here, folks. Surrett going over to quickly converse with the referee, but a very short conversation. She got the answer that she needed.
Yeah, those conversations rarely end with a call reversal in any capacity.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it happen, so.
Lammers back into the game, but replaced by Kayla Bowers in the back row for serve receive. Redeemer just up 1 as Emma Clements gives this one. Bowers hits it back over, and Huggins will have her free reign with that. Just unfortunately cannot make that mistake at this point in the game. It's difficult because it's just so close to being a good ball, but just a little bit too far. Letting Huggins absolutely unleash. As it's a tie game now, 23-23 in this 4th set. Unless one team wins both points out from here, we'll have a win by 2 situation. Kept up by Gill and hit out of left side now for Hobbin. Kate DeYoung keeps it up. What a sprawling dig from Kate DeYoung. As the Royals do have to give a free ball, though. Clements with a chance to set up for Huggins on the left side, but it's blocked by the Royals. It's kept up. DeYoung with the free ball, not pushed into a difficult spot at all. But Surrett covers the second ball as Hybert pushes it into a better spot. It's still covered by the libero. Out to the right side now for Surgener. And that's kept up by the foot of Alana Hybert, but it is unable to be kept up by DeYoung on the second. As St. Clair comes back to be up 1 late in this 4th set. This would be heartbreak for the Royals if they lose this here.
Yeah, Redeemer's very much got to make sure that we're covering left side in this situation. Force them to use somebody else.
Good first pass. Set to the left side. Surrett's there. Tips into the pot. And it works again.
That I don't know what to say. The Redeemer tips. It scores a point.
It works. Anyone else in the OCAA looking for success against St. Clair, maybe the tip is the way forward. Elena DeYoung now having this thing leveled at 24. We're in a win by 2 situation. A little one-footed attack out of the right side from Huggins. She'll get it set out to her again. This will be covered by DeYoung. Elena DeYoung now with the second ball. And Surrett hitting down line, and she gets it. Putting the Royals back up 1. Match point here for the Royals. We've got Elena DeYoung, the third-year setter, here with service to take this one home for Redeemer. This would be the 4th seed beating the 1st seed in the OCAA West if it is to happen. I mean, I'm building this up a lot.
For the first time in 6 years.
We'll see. Elena DeYoung gets it in. First ball. Hobbin set to the right side for Huggins. Redeemer gets a block on it. Cook here with the second ball. Keeps it off the roof. Everyone in the arena held their breath, but it's tipped off the block, and then someone threw an arm at it, and that took it way out of bounds. The Royals jumping and celebrating at the attack line here. An absolutely statement win for them.
Phenomenal win. Not much you can complain about there. The Redeemer Royals showing that they can stick with the best team in the league, and they had a great performance. St. Clair obviously looking to come back from this and look and fix a lot of things.
Yeah, I assume they weren't at the top of their game today.
No.
Yeah, but even this is interesting in terms of last weekend or this week, Redeemer facing off against Cambrian, who was much closer to them in the standings, sitting at, I think it was 8-3 at the time, but now 9-3 that the Royals lost that game. But going 0-3 against Cambrian in that game, but then having the number one team in the league at home and being able to take it 3-1. Big turnaround in a week for the Royals, able to do that. And, they are going to be a cloud nine for the rest of this afternoon, especially for those graduating players who this is their last regular season home game. There's not a better way to finish their regular season off.
Yeah, and obviously Redeemer's defense is very much what you're calling to here. They were digging, and they were putting every single ball in the air that was coming their way that they could possibly do.
Yeah.
And so overall, that is what really won this game for them.
Yeah. So we'll be back doing the men's game. I don't know exactly what the time is now. I believe we'll be starting a little bit. Oh, yeah, it's 4:58 already, and we've got a possible half an hour of warm-ups as well as some senior night festivities to do. So we might get started more around the 5:40 mark. Maybe come back a little bit earlier than that, maybe to check in. But Seth and I will be back doing that game. Unaware of where St. Clair sits in the men's division standings right now. Redeemer more towards the bottom of the playoff picture. But we'll be back and break all that down for you before the men's game. So thank you for joining us. That was a fantastic game. If you're sticking around, you've got some time to go get some food and take a little bit of a break and be back. But Seth and I will be back in a moment. Thank you for joining us, and have yourself a great day.